Wraith by William Toney. Chapter 12. The Echo of Retribution. Marcus sat slumped in a decrepit warehouse office. He was once the leader of one of the largest gangs in the city, but now he felt like he was the only one left. The room was as hollow as his confidence, with flickering fluorescent lights casting an eerie glow over the cracked walls. His pistol lay on the desk in front of him, the cold steel a fragile comfort against the mounting paranoia that gripped his every waking moment. It had been weeks since his gang had begun unraveling. Eddie and Davis were gone without a trace, and Rocco's disappearance after he informed Marcus left Marcus visibly shaken. The streets had gone silent, and every shadow seemed alive with menace. For a man who once ruled his corner of the city with iron fists, Marcus now felt like a prisoner in his own domain. "Where the hell are they?" he muttered, gripping the bottle as though it could steady his trembling hands. He took another swig, the burn doing little to drown the fear knotting his stomach. The phone on the desk rang suddenly, its shrill tones shattering the stillness. Marcus jumped, knocking over the bottle, which rolled across the desk and spilled amber liquid onto the cracked surface. He snatched the phone, his voice sharp and desperate. "Hello!" Static crackled on the line before a voice emerged, low, raspy, and chilling. "Running out of friends, Marcus?" Marcus froze, his grip tightening on the receiver. "Who is this?" The voice ignored his question. "Did you really think you could do as you please to whoever you want, without consequence?" "Who am I, you asked? I'm the consequence." The line went dead, leaving Marcus staring at the phone, his chest heaving. "Damn it!" he yelled, throwing the phone against the wall. It shattered, the pieces scattering across the floor like the remnants of his crumbling power. The room seemed to close in on him, the silence heavier than before. He grabbed his pistol, the weight of it barely reassuring as he scanned the shadows. Meanwhile, Aaron stood on a rooftop across the street, his silhouette merging with the darkness. The city below was alive with distant sounds, car horns, shouting, laughter. But here the world felt quieter. Allistor stood beside him, leaning casually against the rooftop's ledge. "You're getting good at this," Allistor said, his voice smooth as velvet. The phone call was a nice touch. Psychological warfare, effective and deliciously cruel. Aaron didn't respond. His eyes were fixed on the warehouse, his mind replaying the torment Marcus had inflicted on others. It fueled his resolve. "You're thinking about the pain he's caused," Allistor continued, his golden eyes glinting in the dim light. "That's good. Use it. Let it drive you." Aaron's jaw tightened. "This isn't about me," he said, his voice low. "He is a disease that needs to be cured." Allistor chuckled, the sound deep and amused. "Disease? Cure? So what? Are you a doctor now?" Aaron ignored him, stepping closer to the ledge. "It's time." Inside the warehouse, Marcus paced the room, his nerves frayed. The pistol felt heavier with each step, his finger twitching near the trigger. He thought about calling for backup, but who was left? His crew had been decimated one by one. A faint creak echoed through the building. Marcus spun around, aiming his gun at the door. "Who's there?" he barked, his voice cracking. The silence stretched, oppressive and unbroken. Then a soft whisper. "Marcus." His blood ran cold. "I'm warning you. Show yourself." The shadows seemed to shift, moving unnaturally along the walls. Marcus's breath quickened as the temperature in the room dropped. Frost formed on the edges of the desk, the air turning frigid. "You built this life on fear," a voice said, disembodied and echoing. "Allow me to show you what true fear is." Marcus stumbled backward, his back hitting the wall. "No, no, no," he muttered, his eyes darting around the room. The shadows converged, forming a figure. A man, tall and imposing, with glowing eyes that pierced through the darkness. It was Aaron, but not the Aaron Marcus remembered. This Aaron was something more, something otherworldly. "You," Marcus whispered, his voice trembling. "You're supposed to be dead." Aaron stepped forward, his movements deliberate and predatory. "You left me for dead, Marcus, but you should have finished the job. You only created a monster." Marcus raised his pistol, his hands shaking. "Stay back. I'll shoot." Aaron tilted his head, a cold smile playing on his lips. "Go ahead. See if it makes a difference. Marcus fired. The gunshot echoed through the warehouse, but Aaron didn't flinch. The bullet slowed to a stop in midair. The bullet turned and flew back at Marcus, hitting him in the hand. Marcus, grunting in pain, dropped his gun. "No?" Marcus breathed, his knees buckling. Aaron advanced, the shadows around him writhing like living things. "You've spent your life taking from others," he said, his voice resonating with an otherworldly power. "Now it's time for you to lose everything." The shadows surged forward, wrapping around Marcus like chains. He screamed, struggling against their grip, but it was futile. The darkness dragged him to the center of the room, pinning him to the ground. "You'll never escape this," Aaron said, kneeling beside him. "Every face you've wronged, every life you've ruined, they'll haunt you. Their whispers will fill your ears. Their pain will be your constant companion while you draw your last few breaths. But don't worry, you probably won't be breathing for much longer." Marcus sobbed, his once unshakable confidence shattered. "Please," he begged. "I'll do anything. Just let me go." Aaron's eyes narrowed, his expression cold and unyielding. "You're beyond redemption, Marcus. This is the end of the line." With a final gesture, the concrete shattered and split under Marcus. The earth opened up into a deep chasm, and the shadows pulled him down, deep into the pit, as the earth seemed to swallow him up. As it finished closing back up, his screams echoed into silence. Outside, Aaron stepped into the cold night air, his chest heaving. Allistor was waiting, his expression one of satisfaction. "Well done," the devil said, clapping slowly. "Fantastic. I think I'll call that one Shadow Funeral. You always seem to entertain me." Aaron didn't respond. He felt a hollowness in his chest, a void that victory couldn't fill. "You expected it to feel different, didn't you?" Allistor said, his voice softening. "Revenge is a bittersweet thing, my boy. But don't worry, there's more to come." Aaron turned to him, his eyes hard. "This isn't about revenge anymore. It's about ending people like him." Allistor smiled, his golden eyes gleaming. "Of course, whatever you need to tell yourself." Aaron walked away, the weight of his actions heavy on his shoulders. Behind him, Allistor watched, his smile growing wider. "Soon?" the devil murmured. "Very soon."